Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another painting tutorial. So today is Thursday and I'm just so excited because I get excited every time each day is getting near Friday. I think a lot of people, unless for some specific reason, a lot of people are just so excited about Fridays. Me, because I will work out and do a lot of things that I really, really like. And one of those is painting. But today, this evening, it's just Thursday. I decided to paint something and I decided to make it a tutorial because this weekend I will be very busy doing a commission piece. So yeah, let's begin now. Today, by the way, we will be doing cherries. And I love cherries because they sound like my name. Of course, that's number one. And number two, when I'm painting cherries, I feel like I am just painting apples, only that smaller. And number two, because they're shiny, and you know me, I love shine effects. I mean, shiny effects, and I love painting light and contrasts. So cherries are one of the most good practice subjects to focus on if you would like to paint realism because they're not very hard to do. However, if you focus on the details, you might spend a little more time, even if they're very tiny, very minimal, actually. So I'm going to sketch first the subject before we do the whole thing. We are not going to background. Okay, this time I'm really, really sure that I'm not going to background my canvas paper. My canvas paper is size 11 by 14 inch. And the colors that I'll be mentioning in this painting tutorial will be listed as always in the description box below, so you can check them out if you want to paint along with me. So for the sketch, I'm just going to use my red. Okay, by the way, the colors that I'll be using for today's tutorial, we have sap green. This is permanent magenta, burnt sienna, primary yellow, cadmium red, and oxide black. So again, they will be listed in the description box below. And for the sketch, I'm just going to get my magenta. Okay. I'm just going to get my magenta. We are not going to use a lot of colors today. These are not a lot, actually. These are just my usual ones that I cannot dispense with really every time I do a tutorial or every time I paint, even for personal purposes. So again, let's go back to sketching the subject. Using my permanent magenta, let's go and proceed doing, so the cherries will only be two, and they will be occupying a lot of the space right here, okay? Because in order to differentiate cherries from apples, okay, painting wise or visually, you have to have longer stems. I'm calling them stems. If they have scientific names, please let me know. But the stems on which the cherries are holding on to, they are much longer compared to apples, which are shorter. So if you're looking at a huge painting of cherries, you would notice that since they are very big, you probably will have a difficult time differentiating it. I don't know if you're going to have a difficult time, but you probably will see a lot of similarities between cherries and apples. But then just look at the stems. Cherries have longer stems and apples shorter, and they're a little bit bulky. Okay, I mean apples. All right, so let's begin now. Why am I feel like I'm talking too much tonight? Okay, so for the sketch of the cherries, let's just go ahead and sketch them. I'm not really sleepy. It's not very usual for me. It's not very usual for me to do a tutorial in the evening, but I've done quite a bunch of painting tutorials in the evening. Okay, it's okay. Okay, so the next one will be here. So the shape of cherries does not have to be rigid, like doesn't have to be super round or super um, perfect. It just have to shape. It just has to be shaped naturally. Like the shape should just show the natural shape of cherries. I probably will adjust this a little bit because I feel like it's a little bit small. Okay, like that. And I think this one is, hmm, let's see. Let's see later if I'm going to make a little bit of adjustment. For now, let's just proceed with whatever it is that I did. Okay, just like that. And then I'm gonna just let you know where the stems are gonna go. So I'm gonna use my sap green. Okay. So using my sap green just for sketching purposes, let's go and just identify where things are gonna go. So the stem, okay, I did not wash my brush out. That's why you can still see some magenta color. So the stem um, will extend up to this point, okay, and it should be right here. Okay. It's okay. Again, this is just sketching. Don't worry if you see a little bit of red going on. I'm just sketching. I'm just letting you see where things are gonna go, and then there should be some sort of like a bundle that ties the two stems. Again, I'm sorry if I'm calling it incorrectly. I'm calling it stems. Not that I don't want to be scientific, but uh, that's just how I call it in real life. Okay. Okay, and adjustments will be made later. If I have to thin this down, I'm just gonna use white just to thin it down. All right, so let's sketch now the cherries. And for the sketch, we'll be using my cadmium red. Sometimes, goldens, oops, sorry. Sometimes my golden tubes are very difficult to open. I don't know why. Right. I just don't like the cap of golden acrylics. I never bought golden again. I'm just consuming every tiny drop of paints from my golden tubes, but I'm never gonna buy golden paints again. I don't like the tubes. Of course, I can buy in bottles or in containers, but I'm just not gonna buy golden again. All right, so let's underpaint. Okay, this part. I'm gonna get my medium red. Sorry, my cadmium red. I'm gonna add green to that so that it's toned down. You can definitely use burnt sienna, but I'm just gonna use my green here because I already have it here. And I'm gonna use that to underpaint this cherry. Again, if you are seeing some markings that are not supposed to be there, like this red here, it was only by accident, okay? It's fine. Let's correct that later. And you can definitely paint over the sketch line that we did because we use magenta for that. You might want to darken it even more, the red. I will use a little bit of black later. I'm just gonna underpaint. Like that. And I'm gonna allow this first to dry, to set in. Let's proceed to this one. Now you will notice that this um, cherry on the left side is more, it appears more small, okay? Or it appears smaller than this one simply because it's positioned in a different angle. It seems like it is smaller, but they are just of the same size or similar size. It's only an illusion. Just gonna make a little bit of adjustment just to balance things out. Okay, I might use my black now. I just can't paint without my black. I'm gonna use that, add it to my red just to darken things a bit even more, not just the green. Okay, more like dark, really dark right here. This is just to separate the two cherries from each other. Okay, I'm gonna use my red without washing my brush so the black color is still there. Right, like that. Using this already um, dark red color, let's apply a little bit of that color on the right cherry. Okay, like this. And right here as well. I think I will make this a little bit, I will make a little bit of adjustment right here. I feel like it's just too big. Like I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller in favor of the cherry on the left side. Right, like that. Okay, now that we are waiting for the paint to dry, I'm just gonna get my white. I forgot to prepare my white. Usually, the first thing that I get from my paint card is my white. This time I doing it last. So I'm gonna just thin down the stem because I think I made it a little bit big. I'm just gonna thin it down. Just use white. if your canvas or material is white, of course. If you're using a different color, just match, okay, the color. I'm just gonna thin it down. It's too thick for my liking. Right, like that. I will layer even more later because as the paint dries, the paint becomes more translucent. So you can still see a little bit of the paint. Let's do that later. For now, let's get my burnt sienna. A little bit of burnt sienna with my white color. Okay, I'm just gonna get my yellow. And let's add a little bit of that color right here just to make it more realistic. Just a little bit. Gonna get my yellow plus white. And I'm not washing my brush at all. We're gonna highlight this part of the stem. Okay, like that. Gonna get my green, mix it with the yellow. Okay, like that. Okay, now let's wash our brush out. Let's go back to the cherries. Okay, let's just allow the paints to dry in some areas. But let's go back to the cherries. And for that, we'll now be doing more highlights. And I'll be getting my red, pure red. I'll be mixing it with yellow to create some orange color. And let's paint this area a little bit of orange. I'll be using my fingers just to apply it evenly on my canvas paper. And right here. You can see that I'm not really scrubbing my brush against my canvas paper for this technique, simply because we want some sort of highlight already going on. And for the highlight to be more effective, we are not going to highlight each and every part of the cherries, just a little bit of that, as you can see here. Don't make it too smooth of a highlight because your cherries will look like crystal balls, or they will just look like plastic. And we don't want that. Unless that's what you want, but I don't want that. So you're not going to see that. Okay, now I'm gonna get my white. And I'm not washing my brush really, so I'm just allowing everything to be here. And I'm gonna use this to highlight some areas already. For pure highlights, we'll be doing or we'll be using pure white. But for now, since we're still in the preliminary stage of highlighting and detailing, we are not yet going to use our pure white. Just this. Later we will. For now, this is the color. All right. Okay, using the same color. Let's highlight this part of the this side of the painting. Mm. I'm gonna add tiny bit of black so that it's more gray. Right? Again, very preliminary. Okay. So if you're painting along with me, I suggest that you first watch the video before you actually paint along with me. Meaning you have to watch it, try to understand what I'm doing, and then you apply it by actually painting along with me. So first you just observe. That's how I learn, by the way. Okay, this time I'm gonna use pure white on certain areas. Let's go back to this cherry. I can tell that the paint is still wet. Right. I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of red so that it's more pink and highlight this part. like that. Then pure white. Okay, like that. Still pure white going on. Right here. And then we're going to get already late at night, but the drivers outside just crazy. They are like making their motorcycles sound like they're having a race. And I know that it's just not me who don't like that sound. It's very noisy. Right? Highlight. More highlights. I'm gonna wet my paintbrush so that I can apply it more smoothly on my canvas paper. Hold it. Right? Okay, like that. And now let's get some black. Gonna get my black. Okay. Maybe I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of red just to be, consistent still with what we're painting. So using this dark, super dark red, in all honesty, we're going to create some shadows. It's gonna go up right here. Okay, and right here. Okay, I'm gonna get my white to create some gray color. And I'm just gonna continue the shadow. Red. I mean white, sorry. Same here. A little bit of grayish red right here. Okay, like that. Gonna get my yellow and white. This color, the stem. Okay, like that. Same color right here. Okay, using a smaller brush, let's create some lines. So I'm gonna get my black and maybe add burnt sienna to that. And then let's just create some lines. And just to make everything look more natural. I'm gonna add black. Okay, like that. Also here. And here. Oops, sorry. Dark red. Only don't apply too much black. Okay, like that. And we're going to outline this cherry right here, just to give it shape against the background. So just using dark red, just shape it. Just go around the shape. Like that. Okay. I'm gonna use black to darken this. All right. Okay. Now I told you that I'll be going back to cleaning this area since my canvas paper is a little bit absorbent. So that I can fully cover it. And then using white, this white that I already have, I'm just gonna highlight the left side of the stem and the right side of this stem. All right. Using some burnt sienna, let's add some detailing on the stem just to make it look more natural. And then some green, sap green, again, just to make things look more natural. I'm gonna get my white, a little bit of highlight right there. Okay, now make sure that you're using clean brush, meaning it's not contaminated with any other color. Let's proceed to detailing it even more. I'm gonna get my pure white. Use that. I'm gonna use my pure white to go over this area, overlapping. Okay, good. Right, like that. Okay. Now let's use a bigger brush, I mean relatively big. Let's get our cadmium red. Water it down. I want you to water down your cadmium red because we're going to glaze. Okay. Um, we're going to glaze the cherries. Glazing is more of just it's like putting a thin cloth over something. You're not really covering it, but you're not really trying to hide anything. but you're just making sure that um, it's covered like that. It's not really hidden. So you know what glazing is, right? When you glaze your donut, you don't really cover the donut. You simply put some translucent sugar. What am I saying? Why are we talking about donuts? I'm gonna get my magenta and slightly apply that color quite randomly. Okay, you don't have to glaze it, but apply this very randomly on each um, part of the cherries. I'm gonna get my red again just to make this more smooth, I mean, right? And maybe I'm gonna clean something right here because I didn't see it that it's dirty. I'm slightly touching on um like overlapping. I'm doing some overlapping glazing, meaning I go around the shape of the cherries, but I go like right here. Like I allow the paintbrush to touch both the space right here and the cherry so that I can glaze between those two things, okay? The object and the margins. I hope I'm making sense, okay? So using my light yellow with dominantly or more dominantly white paint. Again, yellow. Let's try to highlight the stem like that. And I advise that you use a smaller brush every time you want to highlight something or to give more details, just to be sure that you're not going to um, go beyond the lines. Now I'm gonna get my dark red. Let's create some sort of water droplet going on. And like that. And some dark colors. Using some pure black, let's create some more shadow shadows right here. Like that. Let's darken this part, the left side of this cherry. Let's darken it to create more dimension. Then some red. Let's try to lighten this part. So I'm just looking it from the view of the camera. So I'm just checking if it looks fine. It looks great, but I'll be adding a little bit of orange markings. So using my yellow and red, if you have the orange, it's fine. You can use your orange, but I'm just gonna use my orange right here. And I'm gonna make some markings on the cherries. Oops. Okay. Also highlighting it in effect. Let's see. Yeah, right. Better, right? Small detailing, however, it will change, your painting looks or how your painting looks. Okay. Gonna get my white. Let's just do more highlight right here on the right side of this cherry, just to make it look a little brighter. And then using some gray, let's gray the inside. Not too much of a detailing, but it should be there. Some more red colors. Mhm. Yeah. And just using pure white, let's highlight even more this part. This is just the light. Doing some light play here. Okay. And using some dark red, super dark red, meaning you add black to your red. Mhm. Right, like that. And then lighter red, just a little bit of lighter red right here. So for you to get lighter red, just mix your red with some yellow. Don't do it with white because it will turn your red pink, and you don't want that. Let's add some more highlights right here. I think I am sleepy already. Okay, just tap. Okay, now using some red, dark red, let's do the same thing. Just do some more markings right here. Actually, you can do darker or yeah, darker markings just to make it, you know, just to make some spots. Okay, let's check. Okay, I love it. It's a bit of cleaning right here. Let's make this area like more bright. Okay, let's check. Okay, I love this one. Really. All right. And then using this watered down red, I'm just gonna go around again the shadow part just to suggest light play. Just a little bit of that color, not too much. Okay. Gonna get my white and black to create some sort of like a table on which they are placed. It's just a very tiny detailing. It's not really important because what we're trying to focus on here is are the cherries, right? Okay. Let's use some white. Just make sure that you brighten around, around the cherries. Like that. It's just for drama, but I like it. Some more yellow. Okay, I really like this one. More white. Okay, I really like this one. Looks shiny. Okay, and then using some dark red, again, let's just go around the shape of the highlights. Let's go around it. Right. I like it. A white right here. Okay. Let me check. Okay. So I'm gonna mix my white with some red to get that pink color. Slightly touching on this part. Okay, like that. Let me check. Okay, I really like this one. And then some brown. Let's add some sort of brown color on the stem. Again, we want to make sure that this looks natural more than anything. All right. Yeah. Gonna get my magenta. Again, just to glaze it a bit. then white, just to remove, okay, the excess paints. Just clean around the cherries. Right, that's nice. And I think I'm gonna sign this now. For the signature, I'm just gonna use my black, maybe a little bit of red. It doesn't really matter to me, but I just want it. I'm gonna sign right here. It's very nice because my name sounds like cherries. My name is Cheryl. I love it. Okay, so this is finished. So I hope you enjoy that one and I hope you paint along with me. If you like this video, let me know in the comment section below. If you're painting along with me, let me know in the comment section below and see you in my next one, guys. Again, this weekend I'll be doing a commission piece. So I'm just so excited to do that and also excited to finish that. And it will be in a different style, different from my usual ones. So I'm gonna surprise myself as well. See you in my next one, guys, and have a great day. Have a advance happy weekend, everyone. And yeah, bye. Love you. Mhm. Mhm. Bye, guys.